Okay, so we got the boat and we decided to make the deal. So now I had a few problems, one of which was an engine problem. So whenever you would crank the motor up, it would fire up, it would idle good and everything. But whenever you would put it in forward or reverse and try to give it power, there would be a lot of black smoke and the boat would barely move. Whenever we got the boat, we tried to take it out for a test drive and it just barely ran. So after doing some research, I decided to start with a fouled prop and a fouled bottom. There was a number of other things that could have been, so I started with a haul out. So being hauled out, I noticed that the prop was pretty fouled. It's not as bad as I had thought, but still really bad, and I was hopeful that this was the problem. I will say that the guys at Harbor Town Marina in Canaveral were very good. If you ever have a chance to stay there, the amenities are great, and it's a great little marina. So if you ever have a chance to stop there, I would recommend it. So after being hauled out, we got splashed back in the water, and it wasn't the problem. So next on the list was engine work. It has a Yanmar 2GM20F, which has seen better days. The engine was fairly rusted, dirty, just took a lot of cleaning to get it up a little bit. So I started with the raw water filter. I cleaned that. It was fairly dirty. So I took the strainer out, I cleaned it. Then next was fuel. I started with the fuel filter. So I checked the Rancor filter that came from the tank, and it actually didn't look too bad. The fuel looked fairly well. So I went on to the secondary filter that's on the engine. I pulled the filter out and looked at it. I put a new one in. The filter looked really good. I didn't take video or picture of all this. I probably should have. So after that, I went on to the next thing, which was the mixing elbow or the exhaust elbow. Now this thing was a pain in the butt. This thing was very hard to get to in the Hunter 30. There was very little room to crawl down in there. I had to get in the quarter berth and open some side panels. I couldn't get both hands on the mixing elbow at the same time. It was just a nightmare. Eventually I had to cut the hose that comes off the back that goes out to the back of the boat and then pull it out that way. So once I got that off and looking down inside that, I realized that that was probably the problem. It was very clogged, and I don't see how anything was getting past any exhaust at all. So I took it to work, and I was going to try to clean it out and save it and everything, but looking down in it, it was pretty bad and probably unsalvageable. So I ended up going with a new one, which was probably the best bet anyway. I definitely wish I would have taken more pictures and video when I was doing this, but I was just starting out and I really didn't think I'd be making YouTube videos. So anyway, I installed the new mixing elbow, a new hose, and I also did some fuel treatment, some BioShock, and some fuel additive. And once I did all that and put it all back together, it actually ran good. So here we are, taking it for a test run. Me, my son Dexter, my dad, and one of my friends that actually is the one that talked me into getting this sailboat in the first place.
tighten your valve.